So I decided to do a video on this gun. I did a safety video on the proper way to handle this. There's a couple videos online about guys having negligent discharges or accidental discharges with it due to their improper handling of the weapon system, not the failure of the weapon system itself. They picked up a gun and went out and made a video without being familiar on the safety features of that particular gun. And if you're making a video or if you're just going out shooting, always take the time to familiarize yourself with the proper handling or functions and handling procedures of that weapon. Vital. Too many people pick stuff up, run out and do things with it and don't know what the hell they're doing. Anyways, this is a Contender, Thompson Center Contender, designed to take various pistol or carbine barrels, and you can swap them out just by taking this grip off here, and then there's a pin in the front of the frame that you just slide in and out, and then you can swap the barrel, put a different, and have a completely different caliber setup. These were very popular back in the 70s and 80s. Very popular. I got into them back in the 90s. I had a good time with it. These Contenders, the originals, and this is one of the originals, they were designed for lower pressure rifle / pistol cartridges. Stuff like 454, 308, 243, 7M08, 300 Win Mag, stuff like that, this isn't going to handle. You'll see 440 Marlin, 4570, 375 Winchester, 3030, 730 Waters, 223 Remington, 22 Hornets, stuff like that is what 357s, 44 Magnums, 41 Magnums, stuff like that's what these were. Other than the 730, I have had 22 long rifle, 223 Remington, 41 Magnum, 35 Remington, a 3030, and then this is the last one I've had, which is a 730. And each one of those is 223 Remington. You're not losing much. The one I had was in a 14-inch barrel, and a lot of the ARs out there are running a 16-inch barrel with a gas-operated system. So with some of the bleed off, I would imagine that the 14-inch barrel with no bleed off is probably pretty damn close to what the 223 out of a AR system is running with a 16-inch barrel. The 41 Magnum was nice. I had no complaints with that. That was a longer barrel. I guess the only thing I could say about that was negative is with a longer barrel on a pistol cartridge. You get a lot of performance out of it, but it is unwieldy. 35 Remington was an absolute beast. Every time you touch that thing off, you'd piss your pants and forget your name for 30 seconds because it would just kick so damn hard. The 30-30 was really nice. You hand load with these, you're not dealing with tubular magazines, it's a single shot, so you can deal with different bullet profiles. You can put in Spitzer bullets that have a higher coefficient, and you get a lot better performance out of it. The 30-30 I had was very, very, very accurate. I could shoot clover leaves with that at 100 yards off a rest pretty much any day of the week. It was pretty good. As I said before, this is a 730 Waters, which is a way you can make a 730. You either get the case, buy loaded ammo if you can find it, which this day and age you can pretty much, can't even tell you the last time I saw 730 Waters ammo on the shelf. So pretty much these days I'm a hand loader anyways. I load just about everything I shoot. The way I do it is I fire form cases out of 30-30, which is you just take a 30-30 case and you run it up, you neck it into a sizing die, which is going to neck down the shoulder. And the shoulder for a 30-30 is dramatically different than what this is. And then you run load through there at about 90%. You don't want to, you pick out a load in a manual and you put about 90% power on it. And what that does is blows the case out to this. And what you've got here is a perfectly formed 730 Waters. And I think this is a 30-30 case. It sure is. I don't know if we can get it to focus there or not. But it does say 30-30 on there. Just that's perfectly fire formed case. So that's where I source my brass from. I think you can use 375 Winchester brass for this, or maybe it's 3855. I think it's 3855 brass. You can also do the same thing. You can neck it down, and that makes more sturdy brass, but 3855 brass is a hell of a lot harder to come by than 3030 brass. And if for the extra effort and expense, 3030 is laying everywhere, so why not? And then you get the higher ballistic coefficients, and you get bullet choices that work with this that are in this 7mm caliber that are phenomenal. So anyways, I've got various different bullets loaded with it. I usually run 120 grain bullets. I do have several that are 139 grain bullets, various different makes and manufacturers. There's advantages to each. I think it's kind of a horse apiece. If you're shooting longer distance, you want to go with the heavier bullets, the 139 grains. If you're shooting under 200 yards, I don't think it makes a difference. You get a little bit more velocity with the lighter bullet. But anyways, outside of that, I did the other video on this as far as the safe handling of it. It's very, very important with this gun, and any gun for that matter, is to know how to operate it properly and safely. Because if there's a mishap and an accident, you can't undo it. So, as always, make sure you know what you're doing. Take a few minutes to read the manual. And that's true if you're using power tools or guns or pretty much anything else in life. Take a few minutes and educate yourself. It'll save you a lot of pain and misery, and probably a lot of money too at some point. I will go out and I'll do some shooting with this just to give you an idea of what it can do. The history of it, you guys can read up on that stuff. You don't need me. You can Google the same stuff I could tell you about it. But these guns are nice. If you ever run across one, I wouldn't run away from it. Especially if you can get a deal on it. They're really nice. They did make them in a carbine barrel too, and they had a buttstock on them with a longer forend and longer barrels. I never really monkeyed with any of that. I figure if I'm going to do that, I want a full size. There's other options out there, but these are nice. They were used by silhouette shooters and hunters for quite a few years. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, I'll make a shooting video with this. I'll just go out and show you what they're capable of. I'm not the best in the world. I've gotten rusty with time, and I can still put up a decent group. But yeah, 730 is good caliber if you're looking for something. 3030 is a different animal altogether too, because you can take that 3030 case and instead of putting a round nose in there, you can put a Spitzer profile bullet in there, and it turns it into a completely different animal. Pretty phenomenal. I did not. The only reason I got rid of that 3030 barrels, I had a guy that wanted to trade me a Python for that 3030 setup that I had, and that gun was worth probably 4 times what mine was worth, and I made good and sure. And I even told him that your gun's worth a lot more than mine. Yeah, but he just didn't like it. He really wanted one of these, so that's what I did with my 3030. If it wasn't for that, I probably still have it. But anyways, like I said, I'll make a video. I'll take it outside and I'll splice that up together, and we'll see y'all then. As I promised, I would take it out and shoot a little bit with it. It's really windy today, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to shoot any groups, but I do have a water can set out there just to see what I can do. We'll take it from here and see what we got. As I said before, to load it, you squeeze the trigger spur or the trigger guard spur here. That breaks it open. You take your ammo. This is 120 grain Hornady hollow points. Load her up, and I use your tactical neck pillow here, leg pillow, whatever it is, memory foam pillow. Get your sight picture. Get ready to send it. Day 2. It's not as windy today, so this will be more conducive to shooting at paper. The stand I've got, the wind blows it around, and it's pretty hard to get a group out of it because the target's always moving. And as you know, when the wind's blowing and the target's moving, it's not conducive.
Anyways, we're going to shoot a group and maybe a few more pop cans just to show you. So today what we're shooting, instead of the Hornady hollow points, we're going to shoot the Hornady SST 120 grain. This should be clocking about 2350. It's 2,350 feet per second out of a 14-inch barrel. So to reiterate the proper loading procedure for this, squeeze the trigger guard, open that up, take your ammo, lock it closed. If you're on target, you cock it back and you decide you're not going to fire, hold the hammer, squeeze the trigger guard, notice I'm not touching the trigger, and break the action. That resets it. So we're good to go there, getting ready to go hot. So now we're going to try and shoot a group at 100 yards. We're switching back to the Hornady hollow points just because I'm down to 4 and I'd rather burn them up so I can sight this in for different loads. At any rate, we're going to shoot a 100-yard group and we'll go up and show you what it's capable of. All right, that's 3 shots at 100 yards. I gotta tell you, laying prone at this angle really freaking torques on my shoulder. Not from the shot, just from me being old and my shoulders are shot. If I was sitting on a bench and my body wasn't laying flat with my arm outstretched, it wouldn't hurt as much. I can't sleep with my arms up like this anyways anymore. So it's not the gun, it's the position of my age and deteriorated body. So there it is. I got 2 up top. You can see them, one's here, one's here. I don't know what the hell happened here, but that's the way it goes. My shoulder's hurting laying prone like that, and I am not sighted in for this this load. But this is probably just a flyer. I would have expected that other one to be up in here too, but like I said, laying flat like that without being on a bench, it really torques on my shoulder. I got real bad problems in my shoulder, so that probably explains what's going on with this one. 2 of those shots felt real good. The third one was kind of iffy, but at 100 yards, I mean, that's minute of venison. If you're aiming in the kill spot, that would still be a hit. The recoil on this is probably akin to a 357 Magnum in like a 6-inch revolver. That's what I would compare the recoil to. The muzzle blast is significant. If you're forgetting to put your earplugs in when you're shooting, you will get a sudden and harsh reminder that you forgot your earplugs. But muzzle blast is something else too. It's got a wicked muzzle blast. You can probably hear on some of these clips the thundering in the valley here, the echo from the shots. It's not something you want to shoot without earplugs. A couple other notes on it. Some of the shorter barrels, like in the 730, I don't know if I've ever seen a 10-inch 730, but there are a lot of 10-inch 30-30 barrels out there. And the muzzle blast out of them 30-30 barrels, the 10-inchers, are fierce. I mean, even guys that are into these things, it's got a well-earned reputation for having just a vicious muzzle blast. But outside of that, trying to think what else. Oh, the muzzle velocity on these 120 grains I'm shooting, they're about 2,350 feet per second is about what we're running. I don't hot rod stuff. That's a good way to wear your equipment out faster. If you want something that's got more oomph, go buy a bigger caliber. But anyways, in comparison wise, the 730 out of a 14-inch barrel compares with the 20-inch barrel 30-30 out of like a lever gun. I looked up the velocities on 130 grain bullets out of a 30-30 in a carbine rifle velocities, and this is pretty much in lockstep with that. So you get 30-30 power in a pistol-ish configuration. The only other knock I have, the only negative on this is, these can be challenging guns to hold still, but any pistol really is, as far as when you're shooting offhand. That goes to without saying for any pistol. They're very, very difficult. It's another level of marksmanship pistol shooting. So if you're going to plan on hunting with this, you put some thought into that. If you're shooting out of a blind with a rest, you're good to go. I mean, it's just about like using a rifle. Like I said, if I wasn't laying prone there, I probably would have shot a better group with that. But I was, and my shoulders crap, and I could just feel that tendon just tearing in there when I was laying out prone like that. Seated at a bench off bags works much better for me. But anyway, if you get any questions about it, I think let me know. But outside of that, that should kind of cover it. On the target, you'll notice that I'm about 2 inches high at 100 yards. The reason for that is so that I can aim from 0 yards out to 200 yards, aim dead set for what I want to hit, and if it's within reason, I should hit it. I don't think the trajectory of that round goes 2 inches above or below from 0 to 200 yards. And this was a fox that was killing our chickens. It took me from 23 chickens down to 3 chickens in 4 days, so don't feel sorry for him. He had it coming. I just luckily happened to catch him coming back for this year's young and put an end to it.